In the Marvel Universe, everyone has been calling these superheroes by these many words: invincible, unstoppable, mighty, incredible, amazing, sometimes uncanny. But there is this one superhero team that everyone calls them by: fantastic. That's right. For today, we are reviewing Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm super excited for this because not only was this the first Fantastic Four film for almost 10 years after the bad one, but it's also the debut of the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though it takes place in a different universe. But I'll explain that later on in this video. But either way, I can't wait because the Fantastic Four is one of my favorite IPs from the Marvel franchise in general, besides the MCU. I mean, like, Marvel in general. So I'm super excited for this. So without further ado, before I want to start off, this movie just got released yesterday, or for those who watched it the day before, this may contain some spoilers, like huge spoilers that you don't want to hear until later on next year. So if you want to avoid those spoilers, the best to do is pause me, then go on ahead and check it out in theaters, or if you're watching this in the future, you can watch it on streaming or on Disney Plus. And then when you're done watching the movie, unpause me and then go on ahead and check out this movie review. Or if you're a leaker sneaker, go on ahead, because I don't mind. So yeah, make sure you do all those first before you do this movie review. But also, of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave this video a big thumbs up and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and your comments on your thoughts for Fantastic Four First Steps. Alright, you guys ready? Because this will make you want to jump out of your seats like, what? One other thing I forgot before I want to start this movie review. Since it's new, I'm going to try to make this a little spoiler free, but bring up some of the major things that happened in Fantastic Four First Steps. So again, if you want to avoid these spoilers, you make sure you watch the movie first. So without further ado, let's get started. In the Marvel Universe, everyone has been calling these superheroes by these many words: invincible, unstoppable, mighty, incredible, amazing, sometimes uncanny. But there is this one superhero team that everyone calls them by: fantastic. That's right. For today, we are reviewing Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm super excited for this because not only was this the first Fantastic Four film for almost 10 years after the bad one, but it's also the debut of the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though it takes place in a different universe. But I'll explain that later on in this video. But either way, I can't wait because the Fantastic Four is one of my favorite IPs from the Marvel franchise in general, besides the MCU. I mean, like, Marvel in general. So I'm super excited for this. So without further ado, before I want to start off, this movie just got released yesterday, or for those who watched it the day before, this may contain some spoilers, like huge spoilers that you don't want to hear until later on next year. So if you want to avoid those spoilers, the best to do is pause me, then go on ahead, check it out in theaters, or if you're watching this in the future, you can watch it on streaming or on Disney Plus. And then when you're done watching the movie, unpause me, and then go on ahead and check out this movie review. Or if you're a leaker sneaker, go on ahead, because I don't mind. So yeah, make sure you do all those first before you do this movie review. But also, of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave this video a big thumbs up and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and your comments on your thoughts for Fantastic Four First Steps. Alright, you guys ready? Because this will make you want to jump out of your seats like, what? So without further ado, let's get started. The film starts off with a documentary of how the Fantastic Four got their powers when Dr. Reed Richards, his wife Susan Storm, his brother-in-law Johnny Storm, and his best friend Benjamin Grimm were off on a space adventure. However, they were caught in this weird cosmic storm, and then when they came back down, they've gotten these extraordinary powers, like Reed can stretch his body like rubber, Sue's body can turn invisible and produce these force fields. Johnny can light himself on fire like some kind of human torch, and the thing is all... It started with the Fantastic Four getting ready for a nice dinner that Ben has cooked up. However, Ben has noticed something that is surprising to everyone. Sue is pregnant. That's right. Reed and Sue are going to become parents, and Johnny and Ben are going to become uncles. So with that, they have to get everything prepped up for the baby, along with Reed coming up with a way to make sure that the crime is handled, while Reed and Sue make sure they take care of their the new baby while they're born. As many months went by, and on Halloween Day, they were about to have a nice dinner until it was interrupted when this mysterious lady covered in silver and riding on a silver surfboard has come in. She said that she is the herald of Galactus and said that Earth is now designated for Galactus's hunger, and warns them to enjoy their final moments as Galactus will come to consume the Earth. This made Johnny try to chase her down. However, as soon as Johnny catched her, she said these words that isn't really understanding, but got this Johnny and this move that she could mean something, and what these messages have been saying, which in the beginning where Reed has been finding these messages, it sounded like the same language that she has been saying. However, Earth was panicking as they were questioning if they would be safe or not. However, the Fantastic Four has promised them that they will find a way to convince Galactus not to consume the Earth. However, it wasn't Galactus's choice, it was the Silver Surfer's choice, as she is the herald and her mission is to find the next planet for Galactus to consume for his hunger. So with that, the Fantastic Four have went off to space to try to find a way to stop them. However, Galactus had noticed something. He noticed that the baby has more power than all of them combined, and almost the same power as him, and has a plan to turn him like him, so that way Galactus would be free from his curse of feeding off of planets. So he made the offer in exchange for the baby who spared the Earth. However, they refused, which made Galactus do something to Sue that made the baby started coming. So, in efforts to retreat, the Fantastic Four escaped through Galactus' ship, but the Silver Surfer has chased him down throughout the whole entire galaxy. So with that, Reed came up with the plan to lose her by going through the black hole. They barely managed to escape in time, just as the baby is born, which Reed and Sue decide to name him Franklin. However, once they arrived on Earth, the Fantastic Four had told them about this huge emergency that the Earth can be spared if they traded Galactus their own baby. However, they wouldn't, because of this was their chance to be parents and, well, have their family extended, which made the world turn against them because they believed they'd chosen their own child for the world. So that there have been many protests of a lot of people wanting them to turn in their baby to keep the Earth safe, which made Reed come up with these two options: either turn in the baby to Galactus and Earth will be spared, or keep them and Earth will be destroyed. With all this efforts, Reed was trying to come up with a way to make sure that the Earth is saved while their baby is safe from Galactus' plans. As for Johnny, he has been planning and learning about the language that the Silver Surfer said to him, and with that it wasn't easy for them until Reed had came up with this special idea. Reed has been developing this device which can teleport from one place to another, which got him the idea of doing that, but with the whole entire planet, which means moving Earth from the Milky Way galaxy to a different set of a galaxy, so that way Galactus won't come in and consume it. So at that, he asked everyone to help them build the devices around the world, the same teleportation device, but a lot bigger and around the world, so that way they can use it to teleport the whole entire Earth into a different galaxy, but requires a lot of energy, which means a lot of electricity. So with that, they have to surpass it, which Ben couldn't use his rock sander to shave his beard, which he grew a full one throughout the whole movie. Between you and me, I actually didn't know the thing can grow a beard. I'm new to the Marvel Universe, and I'm still learning, so if you're wondering why I didn't know that, because, well, I'm still learning. Anyways, back to the movie review, and after that, Johnny has figured out something, but a little busy for him to understand. Anyways, as they were about to get ready for the teleportation device, the Silver Surfer has came in to destroy every single one of the teleportation devices, so that way Earth won't get teleported and Galactus will come in to consume it. However, as he was about to destroy the last one in New York, the one that the Fantastic Four are living in, Johnny came in with the recorded messages and started to speak with the languages that she had said to him. So with that, he finally understands what the Silver Surfer has been saying and what the messages mean. It was actually messages to the Silver Surfer, seeing if she is still alive, because according to her origin, she was once a great scientist and a peaceful planet. However, Galactus had came in to consume it, which made her beg Galactus to spare the world in accepting for her becoming her new herald, which Galactus does agree on. So with that, she sacrificed herself to save her planet, but doesn't remember it until Johnny used the messages against her, which she made her realize that what she has been doing was horrible, because not only were there messages about her people messaging her to know that they were still looking for her, but also the destroyed planets that he picked out for Galactus' hunger. So with that, she has fleeing off, and the last teleportation device was still up. And knowing that they can still have to find a way to stop Galactus from destroying the world for his hunger, Reed had came up with another idea. Use the last device on Galactus, which means that Galactus will be teleported into another galaxy, but without his ship, so that way he wouldn't feed off from the planet from his ship. So with that, they have to try to find a way to make sure that Galactus heads off into the teleportation device. And since Galactus wants the child, Sue has agreed on using him as bait, which Reed was reluctant at first, but decided to go with it because it felt like it was their only way. So with that, after getting everything set up, Galactus has arrived. Even also coming out of his ship to search for Franklin, as he still has plans for him to turn him into like him, so he can be free from his hunger. And with that, Galactus was off on New York searching for Franklin, but also seeing the world that he will consume for his hunger. But everything was all set for the Fantastic Four, as he placed the Reed set the bait for Galactus on the teleportation device, while also hiding Franklin. However, Galactus was too smart to fall for the trap, as he noticed the big machines, which of course he is almost the same size as the big teleportation device, and with his powers, he found Franklin in the Baxter building. So with that, he changed directions to snatch Franklin. The Fantastic Four were fighting so hard to make sure that Galactus wouldn't take Franklin, but it was too late, as Galactus now has Franklin in the palm of his hands. In the attempts to save her son, Sue used all of her powers to push Galactus into the teleportation device. As the portal opened, she was pushing very, very hard to push Galactus in, but not before Reed came in to save their son, and just in time as Galactus was finally pushed into the portal without his ship. However, Galactus has pulled himself out as he wasn't done yet. As for that, Johnny attempted to sacrifice himself to push him in, but instead Johnny was pushed by the new and reformed Silver Surfer, as she came in to push Galactus into the portal along with herself. And with that, both the Silver Surfer and Galactus have been teleported off, but with a great cost, that Sue had used all of her powers, that she nearly dies. Well, not nearly, that she has died from the huge exhaustion. The Fantastic Four have grieved for her because she was one of their beloved team members, and Reed especially for losing his wife. But that'll change when Reed has put in in Franklin on top of her, which then Franklin used his unexpected powers to revive Sue. So with that, Sue has been revived, and they found out he was more than just a baby. That he's something special. So with that, the world has been saved thanks to the Fantastic Four. 5 if they wanted to include Franklin, but he's still too young, so not yet. But as they were about to celebrate him and for the world to say thank you for saving the world like they always do, they had another crime call, and so they were off to fight against crime. Well, that was the end until in a post-credit scene, which was taking place 4 years after the events, Sue was reading a story to Franklin, and Franklin wanted to hear another one, which then, after Sue went off to grab a book, a mysterious green-clothed man with a metallic mask came in, and he was staring at Franklin. What could this mean? I guess we'll find out on Avengers Doomsday. Super excited for that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this movie review. This was a movie review I've been wanting to do for almost a year now. Ever since the announcement for the Fantastic Four movie for the MCU. I am super excited that I got the chance to watch it at 2 days before this movie review. I was even super excited that I even got the a popcorn bucket and a cup for a special occasion since it's Fantastic Four. So yeah, I'm really glad I got to watch this, and I'm also really glad I got to do this movie review. It was totally worth it, and totally worth to do this movie review before Avengers Doomsday, which will be coming out next year. I'm super excited for it. Are you guys too? Now, it's time for the review part. And I gotta say, this was definitely one of the best Fantastic Four movies I have ever watched. The first two from Fox were pretty alright, but don't get me started with the 2015 reboot. Blech. But either way, this film really redeemed after 10 years, so it was such an amazing movie. I really liked it. The filming was great. What they did with Galactus, it was pretty epic, and really got you in this moment where your heart started to race. That's how I felt with the most of the scenes with Galactus. And the actors performing the Fantastic Four, fantastic of course, especially with Pedro Pascal, of course, and Vanessa Kirby did an amazing job with Susan Storm, especially with the scene where she pushed Galactus, and with Johnny Storm helping the Silver Surfer, finding her mistakes and what she had. It was actually pretty shocking, as this film really made the Human Torch a lot mature and a lot smart, actually, because in the Fantastic Four, Johnny has always been the playboy, where he has always been this the action guy himself, but they really did a great job with the Human Torch for this one, so it was really great. I really love it. For my rating, I would give it a 4 out of 5 for standards, but for the 10%, I would give it a 10 out of 10 because it is definitely one of the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that I have watched besides Avengers, of course, and Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok. But either way, Fantastic Four First Steps is amazing. Yep. Now don't forget, Fantastic Four First Steps takes place in Earth 828, which is a completely different Earth than the in the main Earth of the MCU, but they will appear on Avengers Doomsday, which led up to that scene with the Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers. What will happen and who will be on the ship that the new Avengers saw in their radar? I guess we'll find out real soon, but either that, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for some more awesome videos coming up real soon, like next year once Avengers Doomsday will come out. Gotta make sure you gotta watch a lot of Marvel Cinematic movies for to watch before Doomsday, because that's what me and my brother are playing for now. So until then, make sure you stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time, everybody. One more thing. Since we are close to the near end of the Multiverse Saga, I will be discussing a talk about for the future of the MCU on what will happen after Avengers Secret Wars. That will happen on the last day of March, so make sure you stay tuned for that real soon. Now, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey, it's me, BDH, but I'm also known as the Brick Dragon Hero. That video was great, huh, Applex? You said it, BBJ. And if you want to see more of the Brick Dragon Hero videos, all you gotta do is subscribe. Follow Brick Dragon Hero on Instagram. Like for this video. Share this with your friends.
And comment down below what you think of that video.
And don't forget to check out the last video. So thanks for watching and have a brick day. Whoosh.